Thanks for 50,000 by the way. Today we're going to be causing civil war within the stick infotainment community. Yes, we're going to be ranking and analysing the various salmonella clone channels and putting them into a tier list from best to not so best. For brevity, we will be looking at the clones, so obviously all channels that create stick animation content won't necessarily be featured. I'm going to be ranking them based primarily on 5 factors, that being originality, humour, video quality/quantity, artistic talent, and personality. Oh, and there's also a hidden secret factor that's only going to be revealed when one of the channels display it. You will notice that the ratings are out of 5 with a total of 25, yet the tier list only goes to 24. Now some could say that this is a commentary on how no channel is perfect, but really it was just because I wanted all the tiers to be equidistant numerically. Now let's start with this guy here. He seems pretty interesting. Just off the vibes alone, he seems like a cool, handsome, witty, funny guy, but I'm also getting the vibe that he's very humble. What a character. Anyway, most of his content doesn't actually follow the Sam formula, with a lot of his content being fiction rather than non-fiction like most of the other clones. The content is usually edgier than most of the other clones, delving into topics that promote the more ridiculous ideas that float around, such as the conspiracy series where he'll try to convince you about usually a pretty dumb conspiracy, such as the Smart Monkey conspiracy or the lowest IQ conspiracy videos. Then there's also the maxing series where a ridiculous idea or concept is taken to the furthest extreme, such as the microplastic maxing or landlord maxing videos. Sprinkled between these you have the standalone videos such as the boomer solution or dictator wholesome moments. Jokes aside, overall I'm quite happy with the direction of the channel. I really enjoy having the creative freedom to make any type of video that I want and be able to just joke about anything without having to be forced into a specific non-fiction, informative only type niche that a lot of the other channels that I'm going to feature will be. And for that I have to say thanks to my subscribers, love you long time. Actually, as a thank you for 50,000 and because I'm so nice, here's a sneak preview of the next few videos that I'm working on. So for ratings, I'm going to give originality a 5 out of 5 because the content of the videos I don't really see anywhere else. Humour, although subjective, I'd say that I do try to inject a lot of humour into my videos as really they're more for entertainment than information. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Video quality/quantity, I upload pretty frequently and I've started to ramp up quality recently, especially audio quality. I never really noticed mic pops and the sound of breathing when watching other videos until I started to create videos myself, and it becomes really jarring. So for sound I'm going to go for a 4 out of 5. Artistic talent is okay. I'd say I need to find a better balance between stick figures and realism, so for that reason I'd say it's a 3 out of 5. Personality I'd say is a 5 out of 5 because there's more to my videos than just reading a script. I try to incorporate as much of my own personality into each of my videos as I can, and I think it does show through in the end result. Overall 21 out of 25, it's a pretty good score. I mean, I am self-rating, so it would obviously be high, because if I didn't think my content was good, then I wouldn't expect anyone to want to watch it. Our second clone we are reviewing will be Sigmund Oppenbaum. He was probably one of the first, if not the first, to try and emulate Sam's formula, but I'd say it was more like a tribute to Sam than actual copying. He follows the standard of creating videos on niche historical subjects with a more educational focus. The content is a little slower paced than the other channels, but most of the content was created years ago, so I'm not going to rate it lower for that. The content of the videos are somewhat varied, with some going into historical events/stories, and others going into biological processes, namely the Thrombosis Thursday video and the Flatulence Friday video. For originality, I'll be giving it a 4 out of 5 as it's not just a direct rip-off, and of the clones he was first. However, the intro being a rehash of Salmonella's intro, I will be taking 0.5 points off, as personally, I just don't like the 10 seconds of nothingness that is added to the start of each video. For humour, he also employs a very dry, ironic humour that works quite well with his English aristocratic aesthetic. I actually did laugh at a few of his jokes, which for the most part I don't do with these clone channels. Although personally, especially for a channel that wants to emulate Sam's formula, you need to be inserting more jokes, as some of the videos do come across as more of a history lesson than an infotainment video. So for humour, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. For video quality/quantity, it's going to get a 2 out of 5 because the channel is pretty much dead, not having uploaded in a year. And the audio quality could do with some work, as oftentimes you can hear a lot of background noise in some scenes. But it is something that's very easily fixed. I do have to say his art style is pretty clean and he does animate his videos very well, so for art style I'm going to give him a 5 out of 5. Sigmund has his own distinct style and personality that does add a lot more to his videos than other clones do, but personally I'd like to see more of it expressed in his videos. If he does go back to making videos, that is. So for personality I'm going to give him a 3.5 out of 5. Overall he's got a 17 out of 25, which is pretty respectable to be honest. Next we have the Jake Farm channel, which I kinda liked, save a few things. Immediately what you will notice is that a lot of the assets used on this channel are directly ripped from Sam's channel, and the difference between the stolen assets from Sam and the original drawings are pretty jarring, as it's clear that Jake Farm isn't an artist. Actually, looking at the description of his videos, it turns out that he doesn't draw his own assets, and for some videos he doesn't write the script either, which kinda defeats the purpose of being a Sam clone, as one of the reasons Sam did so well was because it was a one-man effort, in my opinion at least. The Keegan Skirpan bit is also pretty weird. He did editing and scripting for the channel, so maybe as a sort of thank you he let him voice some of the videos. I'm not sure, but the videos that are solely with Keegan were the worst in my opinion. That being said, Jake does have a lot of personality, and in my opinion that does a lot of work for his channel. It actually makes his videos enjoyable to watch despite the issues that are present. Consequently, the humour in the videos also lands pretty well, with the delivery and content of a lot of the jokes being pretty funny, which I will give him props for. He also used the same stolen intro from Sam, which I'm going to dock points from as well, but because the appropriation of assets are more egregious, I'm going to have to put the originality as a 2 out of 5 and the art style as a 1 out of 5. For humour, however, I'm going to give Jake a 5 out of 5, as unlike other channels, a lot of the humour does land pretty well. I especially enjoyed the Amish joke in the Kentucky Meat Chowder video. Personality will also be a 5 out of 5, as I think this is definitely a highlight of the channel. And for the video quality / quantity, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5, as the videos are pretty well edited by his team, but the schedule of uploads is pretty sparse. So overall for Jake Farm we have 16, again a respectable score. I'd like to see him experiment with his art style but keep the same scripting / personality, as they're done really well. Next we have Animated Lifelines, and although this channel is relatively small, I'm going to be giving it a 0, and no, it's not because I'm punching down, it's actually because it's the first of the channels that fits the secret factor of being an AI content / content farm slop. The voiceover gives it away, but if you can manage to make through one of the videos, it's hard, I tried it myself, you can hear the mispronunciation of common words like deaths as deeths and welfare instead of welfare. Actually, if you go to the History's Cruelest Leaders video and watch the end of it, I think the AI voice has a stroke or something because it starts to literally slur words. The scripts are also very essay-ish, as if the author of the channel just copied and pasted a ChatGPT response and fed it into a TikTok voiceover app. So yeah, it's going into the bottom with a score of 0. Next we have Chat History, and this is one of the more polished channels that we'll be looking at. The video editing is very clean and the audio / music is very professional. The voice acting is very well done, and it does a lot for the channel and allows for his personality to shine through. It, like Sigmund Oppenbaum, has a larger focus on education than comedy, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It does follow the classic adjective noun title scheme, which is just like horrifying torture methods, insane medieval weapons, weirdest historical facts, which almost all the clones have their version of. Some people enjoy that type of thing, but after reviewing a few of these channels it does get to be repetitive, although that's more of a personal gripe than anything. For originality though, it's going to get a 3 out of 5, which is pretty standard. The jokes are more likely to cause you to exhale air from your nose rather than actually laugh, so for humour I'm going to be giving it a 3.5 out of 5. I do like the art style of the characters that he does draw, however they are sparsely used, which I think is a shame given that it's a pretty cool style. But then again, that's just my personal preference, so for art style I do like it, but I'd like to see more of it, so I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. Video quality / quantity, I'm going to be giving it a 5 out of 5, as it's a channel that actually does upload videos, which is nice. And as I said before, the quality of production / audio is very clean. For personality, I'm also going to be giving it a 5 out of 5, as he's a pretty personable dude and it does show in his videos. This gives Chat History 20, which conveniently puts him right behind me. Lol. Okay, let's do a little bit of a speedrun because there's still a lot left. Serious history I'll give around an 8 out of 25, but I have an inkling feeling it might be an AI content farm, so it's getting a 0. Bolo Ackerman, I kinda like this channel, maybe because he's also British and maybe because I'm biased. I'll give him an 11 out of 25, but he's mostly being held back by his audio quality / originality in my opinion, but a good small channel. It also has some weird audio glitches in some of the videos which could easily be fixed. Gustav's show, nice art style and has a lot of personality and some pretty funny jokes. I'm going to be giving it a 12 out of 25. Chill Dude Explains, 9 out of 25. Nice drawings, but the script / voice acting makes the video seem like a lecture more than infotainment video. But again, I'm 80% sure the voiceover is AI, so it will be getting a 0, but if I'm wrong, I'll be happy to give it back its 9. JR Research is a bit of a more relaxed vibe than the others. It does have a bit of an obsession with death / how you can die in various ways, but I think I'm being just picky. The art style is okay, but it does follow this trend of hyper gory thumbnails that are intended for shock clicks, but personally I think the content does well enough to stand alone. In fact, this is a criticism of all the clones, including myself. In all videos there are frames which are higher quality than the others because those are the frames that are designed to be used in the thumbnail, which is usually way more detailed than the rest of the video. The content is a pretty standard list of historical events / stories with the jokes intermixed. I think I'd like to see more of his personality come through in the videos, as it does feel like he's reading a script from time to time. I'd give JR Research a 13 out of 25, which I think is pretty fair. Kelevin is another channel that I like, a lot of which is due to their level of detail in their drawings, especially for the backgrounds of the shots. I also appreciate that they try to incorporate more jokes into their scripts and are still actively uploading. I think they could have better delivery for some of their jokes, which would make them land better and would add a bit more energy to the videos, but other than that I like the channel. I'd give Kelevin a 15 out of 25 for those reasons. A Shallow Dive. For content, I really like that it isn't just medieval torture methods, etc, especially after watching like 50 from the other channels. I like that the most recent video is moving away from just non-fictional essay lists and incorporates more satirical and humorous elements in the video. It definitely has potential like a lot of these other channels. I'm going to give it a 13 out of 25. Trust Me Bro. Again, very similar content to the usual Sam clones, but this one is one that is more polished than the usuals. Although, unfortunately, it doesn't try to incorporate as many jokes as I'd like into the videos. One notable point is that they did create a Trust Me Bro Best of 2023 Moments, which is just a re-upload of all their videos at the time, which is pretty funny and a little egregious given that there was only 8 videos. Okay, maybe I'm being a little harsh, but the channel has a decent art style, and if you like fact lists, then it is a decent channel. I'll be giving it 15 out of 25, but that's just my opinion. I'm sure that other people may like it more. Easy Actually. Although he's not a Sam clone, he asked me to notice him, so let it be known that you are noticed. Also, the idea of inverting the colours so that it's a black background, so that it's easier on the eyes at night, is very smart, and I'm kinda jealous that I didn't think of it first. You should check him out, he does some pretty cool stuff. But back to the actual analysis for our last channel, which is arguably the most successful of the clones. Good Enough. I have to say, out of all the channels featured, the thumbnails for this channel are probably the most striking. I do like the style of extremely detailed disfigurement without necessarily being just straight up gore like a lot of the other videos. The videos also have really high quality audio and video editing, but with only 8 videos it's hard to tell if the videos will be just generic Sam videos or something more interesting like the first Animals That Can't Stop Getting High video. The upload schedule is also pretty slow, being one of the worst on this tier list. A lot of the videos have a very list-like feel to them, as there isn't much emotion or flavour in the scripts / voice acting, and it can kind of get monotonous as you're just blasted with facts, without reprise so much as a single joke, with usually pretty tame delivery. The videos also don't show much personality, as like I said, it really just comes across as a lecture with a semi-humorous PowerPoint presentation accompanying it. I think there is a larger focus on animation / art than the actual script, so whilst being nice to watch, it becomes hard to listen, especially if you have to watch all 8 videos for an analysis. For the ratings, I'm going to go with originality with a 3 out of 5, humour with a 2 out of 5, video quality / quantity 3 out of 5, artistic talent as a 5 out of 5, personality as a 2 out of 5. So overall it's going to be 15 out of 25. A pretty good score, to be honest. Oh wow, would you look at that, my channel is at the top. Who would have thought? I mean, I did explain my points and tried to be as objective as possible. I also have a certificate of media literacy, TM, so my opinion must be taken as fact, and any disagreements will be put down to you not being a media understander like I am. Jokes aside, obviously this is all my opinion. I actually like or don't dislike a lot of these channels, bar the AI ones. If you like what I had to say about them, then check them out, you might enjoy their channels. But other than that, thanks for watching, hope to see you in the next video, bye.